It's all the above, best believe we do it better. I want the fame, the fortune, all the above. I want the checks, the moolah, all the above. From Philadelphia to New York, all the above. Man, tell them other stations they don't do it like us. I want the fame, the fortune, all the above. I want the checks, the moolah, all the above. From Philadelphia to New York, all the above. Man, tell them other stations they don't do it like us. What up?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Angel Marie from All of the Above, and I am joined here today by alternative pop singer-songwriter Kayla Marque. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am great. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you have to let us know how have you been, what's going on with you this week, this upcoming weekend, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so this summer's been hectic for me, crazy, busy, booked and busy, blessed. Thank and this weekend I've got some shows that have been planned for a while now. So tomorrow I get to take over the art museum in Denver, and we've been planning this night of programming for 4 months. So it's exciting to watch everything come together.
I love that, and we're going to get into so much more in a few seconds. So are you ready to start this interview?
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right. So first and foremost, what inspired you to pursue a career in music?
The simple answer to that would be pain. I just, went through a good amount of traumatic events, and I'm someone who struggles with expressing my feelings, and so music became a cathartic practice for me. It became my therapy, my medicine, and it was never really my intention to make it a job out of it, or a career. I didn't foresee any of this really happening. But yeah, it's my outlet, it's my medicine, and now I get to administer medicine to other people.
I love that. And the fact that music is your medicine, what kind of message do you like to relate through your music? What do you hope your audience gets out of it when they hear Kayla Marque songs?
I hope that they see reflection, of themselves. I hope that they find themselves in the way that you could find yourself when you're reading the pages of a book, and to relate and connect to the stories that I'm telling. It's really about connectivity for me, like that notion that you're not alone.
I love that. And as an alternative pop singer-songwriter, how would you describe your sound and what do you believe sets you apart from others in a similar genre?
My sound, so if I want to be really specific, alt pop is what I say just as an umbrella statement, I suppose. But I guess am intentionally branding it. I really just needed the language for myself because people are always asking me what genre I'm in. And I grew up with so many different influences, and there's not one thing that makes up the soundscape that I'm creating. It's so many different things, and infused with my own experience and coming through my filters. So my genre is sparkly dark ritual pop.
Ooh, that is very unique. I feel like I've never heard that before.
I hope not. I learned that I need to just carve my own path and stop trying to fit into things that are already existing because I don't fit in them. And then I'm killing my own creative flow in that way. So everything is made up anyway, so why not?
I know that's right. And I love that last response that you gave about how you wanted to create your own lane and your own path and not fit into everyone else's idea of what your music should be like when you first started. How would you describe your evolution as a music artist from when you first started to where you are now?
Um, I'd say it's just gotten more clear. My music path is very intertwined with who I am as a person. So each project that I've created, Those albums are all kind of concept albums, but really just are detailing an era of life that I've gone through. So literally, if you start with my first album, Live and Die Like This, and listen to that and move into brain chemistry, left brain, right brain, and now the upcoming album that's coming out in August, Midheaven, you can hear the evolution sonically, you can hear it energetically. I think even just like the places that I write from now are less about pain and more about entering an era of pleasure.
Ooh,
Um, so I think you kind of see this evolution of me going from like the underworld, really being more closely related to darkness and those heavier feelings to starting to come a bit more into the light.
absolutely. I love that. And you just teased that you have your new album coming out in August. Can you touch on that a little bit more? What kind of vibe and sound can your audience expect from that?
If we could remember the future, maybe. Yeah, so I'm really excited about this project. Been working on it for the past 3 years. And it's more playful. Like I said, I was really in this like darker spaces, really working through trauma and heavy emotions that I didn't know how to process. And so, I alchemized that through music, and that's what a lot of my older work is. And over the past 5 years, I've had this awakening
Mhm.
um, that has allowed me to have more self-discovery and introspection in a way that allowed me to play a little bit more and like play with ideas and um go back into my cosmic origin and like my shirt remember the future. And so that's really the message of this album is it's this awakening that I've gone through and hoping that it will at least spark something in other people when when people ask me where are you from and I tell them the future. And I don't really get a lot of too many questions. I think people are more just shocked that I've even said that. um and the thing about it is that it stays with people. It's not something that they're going to forget. They're like, oh, that's the girl from the future with all the keys on her neck. And it's like planting a seed. And I think that's for me, that's what art does. It plants a seed of inspiration or at least curiosity. So, my listeners will go home after a show and wonder like, dang, what is it? What is remember the future? How do you remember the future? And then maybe that will spark them to write or spark them to cook a meal that's inspired by that. You never know. And so I'm just trying to inspire creativity in others. And this album is that medicine.
Absolutely. And you said that this project, you've been working on it for 3 years now. What is the creative process like while developing this project?
So with this one, similar to my past work was a lot of getting these like downloads. Songs don't often come to me all at once. I'll get like a snippet, a lyric here and there. And so, I have journals everywhere, just like everywhere. I have to, or in my phone. So I'm throughout the day my brain is working on these things and then I'll jot it down and then I start to hear a chord progression. So I'll sit down with my guitar, piano, and it's kind of like a puzzle or like a scavenger hunt. I start piecing these messages together. And it's a way for me to identify and process my own emotions and understand the scenarios or situations that I'm dealing with, and then I can write it out and it helps me like, oh, this is what's happening and this is how I feel. And so that's been the process with this album. Just I have so many sticky notes with little sayings and lyrics on them, and I put them together and it created a divine transmission.
Hey, that sounds so therapeutic. Honestly,
It
I love it
feels
when people have diaries and journals because it's like pour it all out.
a big part of my process just in general, like just in life, is reflection. Over the past couple of years, I've learned how important it is to carve out time to sit and be still and reflect on um whatever the things that have happened, the things that have transpired, how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, just where I'm at in that space and writing those things down. And that's a huge part of my creative process also. And I think that energy is infused in the music. So hopefully it's going to get other people to slow down and reflect also.
Like that. Now, you also told us earlier on that you are booked and busy. You have so many things going on this summer, and you actually have performances all over Colorado right now, from Denver Fashion Week to So Far Sound. So, what do you look forward to the most when you're performing live, and how do you typically prepare for each show?
Mhm. I think what I look forward to most is just knowing that each performance is going to be different. The set usually changes a little bit, but it's the energy of the people. Like you are never gonna have the same audience
Hmm.
ever. That's like there's every time I get to perform is a one in a million experience. And so that really, fills my soul knowing that we get to have this really special moment together. Um, and how I prepare for that, well, I'm kind of a nervous wreck. So, the stage fright and the fear of being perceived and being seen hasn't never really left me. It has gotten more manageable. I use a lot of tools, like breathing. This morning I went and got an IV, like hydration and minerals, because I have a long weekend with three big shows. And so it really just depends on what it is, but there's always a moment of solitude, meditation, breathing, so I can get grounded and um, make sure that I'm present and engaged enough to actually create these connections with people.
I love that. I feel like you saying that too is probably also going to help others who have a little bit of anxiety, but they don't want that to stop them from fulfilling their creativity and their craft. So hopefully, whoever's out there listening, you guys take heed to that. Do some breathing exercises and additional techniques to get you through. And
Yeah,
when
no,
you're performing,
hit me up. Like I got you. I'll give you some pointers. It's been years of me working, adding tools to my toolbox.
yeah, start a meditation class too, right?
I do facilitate workshops, like creative empowerment workshops, and I usually start with breath work and like introducing that to people. And so yeah, it's the
I
thing I
love
do.
that. Yes. And when you're performing live, what would you say is your favorite song to perform and why?
Oh man, I'm so picky. I'm a Virgo. So I'm like I have specific songs for specific things.
Okay.
Um like my favorite song on the album is not necessarily my favorite song to play live or whatever. So I think right now it's going to be one of the songs from Midheaven, the new album. And oh, it's a tough one. It's between Slow Burn, which is the single that is out already, and Nights. Nights is just like a sweet reminder to let go and have fun and be yourself.
Yes. Now, are you from Colorado? I know you say you tell people you're from the future. Where are you from? Is it Colorado?
I am from the future. This is not a lie. But yeah, my mothership brought me to Colorado. So this is where I entered the earth.
I love that. How would you say being immersed in Colorado, how has that influenced your creativity and your taste in music?
Mm. I think the main thing is the nature.
Mm.
Uh having all four seasons here sometimes in the same day because
Oh,
Denver. Yeah, no, it can get crazy. Um but I started playing guitar because I started on piano, but I picked up guitar so I could write outside. And just that connection with the natural world and being, close to Mother Nature, having your feet in the grass, um, in all seasons, whether it's snow or it's raining outside, that is a big factor in how I express things and how I feel connected to things. So that's one of my main influences from living in this beautiful state.
I like that. Do you also do meditation in the rain? I heard that also helps ground you to like nature and earth. Have you ever tried that before?
I've never meditated in the rain, no, but I did. We had a storm last week and I did just like lay out on my driveway in the rain.
Was that refreshing?
Oh, I needed it. So cleansing. It was a high stress day. I was like having a mental
Mm,
breakdown and getting out and getting grounded and just letting the rain like wash over me definitely gave me a recharge.
yes. Now, as a music artist, what would you say are some challenges that you have faced and how did you overcome that?
Um, there's a few I could name. Being Black woman in the industry is one. Um, being a woman in the industry,
Hmm.
being I think personally being an introvert, I'm quite introverted. Um, and going back to my fear of being perceived. So I've had a lot of internal things to work through. And I'm kind of revisiting those things now as I'm getting ready to release another project. Because it's been 4 years since my last one. And so I'm like, oh no, this thing
People
that I
are
love so
waiting.
yeah, but I'm like, it's hard to not think about how people are going to receive it. People are going to tell you that all day, like you have to know yourself and have a strong sense of self and do whatever you want, no matter what, no matter who doesn't get the vision or believe in you, which yes, but also we're artists, like we're sensitive. We have all these big feelings and um we are completely opening ourselves up to judgment and criticism and scrutiny, and it's really scary to be this vulnerable, especially for me because I'm not like, although this is pop, it is ritual pop, and it's deep, it's introspective, and I'm just giving you my inner workings and my soul, and that's a terrifying thing to do.
Yeah, I'll say I give it to you and all music artists who put your music out there because at that point, once you hit that release publish button, it's out there for all public scrutiny, criticism, praise, whatever. Like you don't know what you're going to get.
You
And
have
there's
no
times where,
control over it. Yep.
yeah, no
When it's
control.
not yours anymore. And
So
that's the
I give
that's
it to
the kind of deal with the universe, It's like, okay, this doesn't belong to me anymore once I let it out. It's kind of like raising a kid, you
yeah,
can nurture them and love them and guide them, but you don't own them. And that's how I feel about my projects. They're my babies.
absolutely. But we got to flip it on the bright side. What would you say is the most memorable or your favorite moment thus far as a music artist? What do you love the most about this journey?
It's really simple things. It's really the small things because there's so much that goes into this, and it's a whirlwind, and it's a lot to keep track of. But I'm always reminded, especially at shows when there's kids there, when there's young people and there's youth. At my last show at Levitt Pavilion, which is a beautiful outdoor amphitheater here in Colorado, there was so many young kids. I mean, from like toddler to teens. And I had a group of girls, like young girls, probably 9 of them, that came up to talk to me and take pictures. And um, we howled out like together as a little wolf pack. And it's those moments that bring me back to, okay, this is why I do it.
Yes, I like that. See, it's all about those moments that brings you back to your purpose. I like that.
Yeah. Hmm.
And with everything that you have going on now, what is next for Kayla Marque? You have your new project coming out in August. You have your shows coming up. What else can people see and hear from you in the future? If you want to remind everybody of the current things that you do have going on, what do you want to share with everybody?
So the album comes out August 29th, which is also my birthday. Um,
Happy early birthday. That gives everyone
um,
even more of a reason to go stream.
it does. If you like celebrating birthdays or just celebrating life, just go share a song on that day for me.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'm gonna be hitting the road. I'm going to do a acoustic run of the album. And I actually have a Philly date.
Ooh. Come on over to the 215. When is that? Is that this in the summer?
So my tour starts at the end of August. I'll be hitting Paris, London first, and then I come back to the States. New York, DC, Austin, Nashville. This is not in the right order, but as of right now, Philly is my last date. And that will be October 4th, I think.
Lovely. Save the best for last.
Yeah.
No shade to those other states.
I'm excited to come back to Philly. I've only been there once and only for 48 hours. So I get to spend a few days there this
Yeah.
time.
Make sure you get a cheesesteak. Did you get a cheesesteak when you came?
Listen, cheese is not my friend.
Oh, you ain't living right until you had a cheesesteak, but we can't mess you up when you come here. You got to still love Philly.
I'll do it maybe on the last day, like when I don't have to worry about keeping my voice because dairy is not good for that. But
True. Get a pretzel then. We'll do a pretzel.
okay.
Now, for everybody who do want to stay up to date with everything that you have going on in your world, with your tour, your new album, how can they do that? How can they find Kayla Marque?
Yeah, so my website is a good place to stay up to date with music and new videos dropping, and tour dates, and that's kaylamarque.com. And then if you want to be more involved or see like more behind the scenes things or just like day-to-day stuff, more human things, my Instagram is a good place, and that's at I am Kayla Marque.
There we go. Make sure you guys follow, support, stream her music, stream the old songs, stream the new songs, stream everything. Make sure you guys show that love and support for our beautiful, talented artists. But before you guys go, make sure you also follow us. We are on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at _ all of the above one. That is where you guys will stay up to date with everything that we have going on with our show. And make sure you guys also hit that subscribe button on our YouTube at All of the Above Podcast. That is where you will see the amazing interview today with the beautiful Kayla Marque. And you will also see a host of other interviews with special guests, celebrity special guests, red carpet interviews, all of that good stuff. And make sure if you hit that subscribe button, you will never miss a single episode. And last but not least, make sure you guys also follow us, or not follow us, but you could get more information on our website at www.alloftheabove-podcast.com. That is the hub where everything is listed and located, so you have no excuse. Kayla Marque, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you. Peace, y'all.
Yes, I'm your girl, Angel Marie, and we will see you guys next time.
Wednesdays at 7, Angel Marie and Kevin playing the illest records, bringing us back together. Philly is all season, storming through any weather, leaving the track bleeding, way we pull it together. We applying my pressure, I am your new professor, teaching this whole semester, pay attention to lessons. I like a chili pepper, fresh out of Louisiana, it's all the above, best believe.